Alright, good morning, or good lunch hour. It's noon, Toronto time, and my plan is now to take Birches with Orange number 3 and change it from the forest fire into something a bit more like that one, with a lot more foliage. And I did the same thing with Birches number 4. I don't remember what number it is, but this one painting here, this is what I did yesterday. It was very stark, like this one, like a fire. And I just went through and added all the leaves and made it something that was my original intention. So anyhow, I've got my most important thing here, which is coffee. And this is like number 3 or number 4, so I'm ready to go. Oh yeah, I gotta go on the Facebook here, so it's easy to read your texts if someone says something. Right there, look at that weird looking dude. Okay, there's 2 comments. Let me just see. Good morning, Cindy. Hello, Alita. Cheers. One big coffee for me. Yep. I started growing a beard for the first time in like 25 years because my son said, "Dad, you look more masculine if you had a beard." So I just stopped growing it. But it was getting pretty Wolverine, so I bought a trimmer, like beard trimmer, whatever, and I just hacked it down, so it feels so much better now. I don't know if I can deal with a big beard, but that's all. Okay, let's do this thing. Let's get in here and turn it from the horrible, not horrible, but the ominous forest fire that's coming to kill you. And let's turn it into Birches with Orange. All right, so almost out of this beautiful, beautiful orange, of which I have no idea what it's called. All I know is that it's almost empty. So I'll just try to savor that as much as I can. I'll do some red. I'll have to make my own oranges. Okay, so yeah. And this one blows my mind. Now, this is a cadmium yellow something, but it's like about as close to an orange a yellow could be, but it's a very nice color. Okay. Woo! Let's do this. I can see how there's a delay. That's kind of freaky. There's like a, I don't know, 10-second delay. Huh. Just sweat all over me. All right. So, like I was doing yesterday, I'm going to start with these. Maybe I'll zoom in. I'll start with small brush strokes of a certain pattern, and they're going to be thick and uniform, and I'll do a bunch of them in front of the predominant branches. Hold on a second, my tripod's, I gotta tighten it up. Come on, baby. There we go. Okay. So I'll start in the area the camera's close to. So I'll just start putting down these random leaf-like brush strokes on top of the predominant trees. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to be hiding most of this stuff. And I mean, I don't have to do it in this order. That's just the hell of the order I'm doing. Looks wicked. Looks like BC right here now. Fire. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, when I did this one, I was intending to add foliage, but it just sort of stopped. And the story behind it was my brother, who lives in California, is very close to all the fires happening up there. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll just leave it, you know. But I wanted to come back, and I wanted to make this particular series, of which I've done 5 of them. One very large one, I called it Birches with Orange for obvious reasons. I want them to have some sort of uniformity. Even though I do like that intense fire, I think it's pretty cool. It wasn't really my intention from the beginning. But yeah, I've been reading a little bit about the fires out there. I was on Reddit last night, and I think someone was showing a picture of like Calgary or somewhere. And normally you have this really nice long view, but it was completely grayed out because of all the smoke. I don't know. Somebody's laughing, but it's probably a delayed. I don't know what they're laughing at. Sorry, Mariella. She's crying. Are you crying, laughing? I don't know. Okay. Oh, I don't know if you noticed, but I switched colors a little bit. I'm just sort of just going with the flow. Like I'm not really thinking about it too much. Let me go up higher. Come on, tripod. I gotta loosen this thing 1 sec. Just move it up a bit. And I am definitely going to be adding sky coming through. So I'll be adding blues and whites to give the impression that there's a sky poking through the top. And I was saying before how I really like to paint without looking too much at real life. I love painting from my imagination. And there's no question I use photo references sometimes. Sometimes it's completely necessary, especially when I need to do something that's accurate, like people. So for example, I absolutely needed to do a photo reference for the woman in the burqa on the canoe in Algonquin Park, because the light and shadows, I needed to see the position of the arm, how she was holding the paddle. It's actually a paddle. It's actually, the reference material is actually a man wearing a life jacket, a white guy. So it's not like I was copying it. I was just looking for the overall composition. But one recently I did use a very direct example of was this idea of this asylum seeker or one of those guys doing the border crossings going into Algonquin Park, and I did directly reference that photo, and I show you the photo. I have a pet peeve with modern artists who use photographs too much, and they try to hide it. Because using photographs is too easy. It's like just cheating, it's just like copying. So I think it's okay and valid to use it as long as you're being open and honest about your reference material, where you get it from, so we can judge. Because the days of doing photorealistic and at least impressing me, are over. I was only impressed probably one time when I saw Close. His name is Close. I think his name is Glenn Close, and it was at the Art Gallery of Ontario, and there was this large painting about this guy he had his glasses on. I believe it was a self-portrait, and he could, I was young. I was maybe I want to say 13 to 15, and I remember, you could see the artist had. It was the first hyper-realistic painting, because there is a difference between hyper-realistic and photorealistic. It was the first hyper-realistic painting I've ever seen, and even it was the first time I even thought about it, because I guess photography, it wasn't as available when I was a kid for artists to that degree, unless you sought it out. But he had you could see the pores on the guy's face. Now to do that painting today, honestly, doesn't require a lot of effort. A lot of talent. It requires a lot of effort, but talent for me is now questionable if they use it too much. There's something about doing it live and also from your imagination, for me, I just have more respect for. So I believe Lucien Freud, his models were live, and that guy was a phenomenal painter. He would just do strokes of color that became the shapes. He does a lot of things that I try to do, which is not in this painting, but he would just one stroke like this, and another would be both the light and the shape together of a character. So he did figurative painting a lot, and he was of the similar point of view that I have, which is, what is beauty? He would do completely obese people, or a lot of nudes of like for sure non-traditional attractiveness, and find beauty in the artwork. It sounds so goofy to say it, but it's true. Okay, let me just shut the hell up for a minute here. Okay. When this thing's done, it's not going to look like it's so much on fire. Watch. Look, I love mixing oranges and blues together. It's always such a nice combination. So the way I'm going to fix this is that you can literally see I'm putting these, right now I'm putting these shapes in front of the branches that are predominant, they're close up. And hopefully that'll give the impression that there's leaves on them. And let's see, maybe I'll do it up here because this is where the camera is, but I don't think I've been paying attention to the camera. So you get a bunch of leaves. And the other thing I've noticed, that looking at some images of birches in the fall, they really do have more canopies. Like there'll be like a canopy, like a whole bunch together. So maybe as I get more into this painting, I'll try to do like a group of these leaves together to get that canopy effect. So what I'm trying to do with these particular paintings is create something that has some kind of beauty. And I don't mean it in a decorative way, although it is decorative. I mean it more like just a human gut level way, where you sort of look at that and it draws you in and thinks, might make you like take a deep breath, or just sort of take you out of your normal rat race world. And also, very importantly, it's original. Like, we haven't really seen this thing before, which is, I think, one of the greatest challenges painters today have, because the access to the internet has revealed so many talented people are living, and you just haven't seen their stuff. So I think I'm doing my usual rambling. Oh, not painting it. Move it over here. Sorry, I was doing some stuff over here. So soon I'm gonna change up the brush strokes a bit. I might do like what's an example? Just like thicker, or I might actually just pull some paint across, just to give it a bit of variation. And very soon that fire is all going to be gone. You're not even going to notice that this painting once had this raging forest fire theme behind it, which just evolved that way. Actually, I know where it came from. It came from, I've got a very good family friend named Marty Katz, and he has a painting in his living room. And there's kind of this fiery background landscape. And that's kind of what I was thinking about. And Morty is one of the inspirations in my life. It's funny, he's one of my dad's best friends, so they're both in their 80s, but growing up he was almost like a second dad, and he could relate to me a lot more than my own dad, even because Morty was an artist. He's a painter and an architect and a sculptor, and we always could. My dad was different. My dad was more like, he likes a lot of sports, and I liked a different kind of sports. I was never into team sports. I was heavily into single person sports. Like, I loved skiing and martial arts. Those are my two things I did for so many years. A little bit of tennis. But my dad was more into the other stuff. So I guess that's why I got along with Morty so well. And he's such a sweet guy. Like, he's such a... I was just talking to my dad the other day about Morty and a couple of my dad's friends. And one of the things they do have, which is true, is that they used to always, like, they wouldn't say hi to each other. They would just open up with, "Did you hear the joke about blah blah blah?" And they would just tell each other jokes nonstop. So I had lots of fond memories of my dad and Morty and a couple of others friends. Was a race dancer. Dad was just saying. They just would always, they wouldn't try to one up themselves, but they always had lots of funny jokes. And also, I think they're all pretty Jewish. So a lot of the jokes sort of have this kind of like Jewish flair to them. And there is something said about Jewish humor. Like, I don't know what it is. I can't define it. But part of it is self-deprecating. And so just fun stuff. Okay. Can you see this? Okay. All right, so even in the past few minutes, like I've only been painting for like, I don't know, how long? Maybe 17 minutes. We've already changed this up quite a bit, but I need to change it more. I kind of feel like I might want to go and do the sky a little bit, because that'll create such a dramatic impact too. I have to get rid of the yellow to red, because that yellow to red, this bright yellow, is what's making it seem like a fire. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to paint over those with these orange leaf brush strokes, and suddenly that angry fire will begin to dissipate, and what will take it over will be this more gentle kind of mystical forest, which is definitely, I like the idea of. I don't want to be Disney, like goofy, magical. I mean, like if there is, like at a human level, something mysterious, you know, like a camp, like what a fire would represent to like Neanderthals, something primal, I guess what I'm trying to say. That would be nice if I could do that. Okay, so let's just take a break with that, and let's move into some sky. But first, I need a drink of coffee. All right, so I'm going to use a paint from yesterday, and I'm just going to get this, I don't know if I can show that to you. This is some of the blue from yesterday's sky, and I'm going to start putting in shapes that are almost like they're intentionally trying to draw, like it's negative space where the leaves wouldn't be. And I'm going to start with a bluish kind of color. And I'll add white as I go up. So I'll kind of keep it kind of relatively high. And I think how do I do it? Over here. There we go. Okay, so you can see I'm going to do it. I'll do it right across. With this one particular blue, which is kind of nice. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to take some white and start mixing it in here, and we'll create more of a sky effect. I like how I'm mixing it right on the canvas, and I think that helps a lot. Maybe I'll make the sky come right up there. Hey Giselle, you're watching. What time is it there? It's 12:30. Oops. Is that going to mix? Okay, good. That's old paint, that red. So hopefully, I'm going to have to step back in a sec to see what the effect is. But my goal is that it looks like a sky's coming through. And it's like the lower down is more blue, right? I think that should be pretty obvious at this point. Let's just take a look. Let's just come over here with some white. There's white. Okay, so something I always recommend is stepping back from your painting when you've been working on it, because you need to see the overall composition. If the paintings are at least this, oh, look at that pink coming through. That's kind of a nice idea. Okay, I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna go back about 20 feet, and let's have a look at this painting. Okay, grab my coffee, stepping back, all the way back here. I don't like that. I can see that these lines are still too thick. And the blue, I know it's missing. I need to have some stuff like actual colors around the clouds there. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay. All right. It may take me a little while. You have to be patient. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to now start adding colors. Some of those oranges back up near the top. And I will try to avoid making too many, what are they called? Leaves. I might make these more like patterns, like as if there's so much. Here, see, I'm just going to sort of like paint in between here and let the red show underneath. And so I'm painting on painting, like I'm doing layers, right? Oops. I will put a couple leaves on top of the background there, and I'm trying to make it different colors. That's already helping a lot. So there's negative space, and then I'll paint on top, which is the positive space, and it usually provides all kinds of more interesting things to look at. So watch, leave on top of the white. And so, like I said before, some of those dark outlines are too intense, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to put some colors over those lines to hide it, so that this area becomes more like a thick foliage. And I will add some more streaks that would represent the bushes of color that, you know, the birches have. Not just individual leaves, they sort of have, I don't know what the fuck you want to call it, just lots of goddamn leaves. I should call this as Josh's X-rated painting, live painting. A friend of mine told me that people who swear tend to be more intelligent. So, based on that information, I must be brilliant. Okie dokie. So here is an area where I was thinking about like there being a canopy of bush of stuff that really just hides. You know, adds a bit of movement to it. Like maybe I'll do one up here too. Just sort of hides leaves. To do that, I need to do multiple passes of different colors. Okay, so hopefully you can see like right now there's this, it's like a canopy right around here. And maybe I'll do something, look how dark that is. That's got to go. This whole thing's got to be taken downtown. I'm quickly running out of paint on my palette. And I'm not sure like the direction of the leftovers, but there may be enough to fix some of the mistakes. Okay, I'm gonna get some more paint. Come on, baby. What's your favorite colors? I think I might add, for variation, this ochre color. And it's some kind of mysterious color. I can't read it, but it's a more brown ochre hue, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to play with it a bit. Maybe that's like the shadows of underneath the canopy. Like it's got to be a little darker, right? So let's just see what kind of colors it brings. You know, maybe I'll bring it down here. Oops. Come on. All right. Okay, so here's that ochre color. I'm going to use that to destroy some of the fire. And what it'll probably do is add some depth to like areas like this or areas like this. Here's something that's interesting to note. It's one of these fairly obvious observations, but once you know it, you really know it. If you want to make a sense of stability, have vertical lines and horizontal lines. If you want to create a sense of movement, have lines at 45 degrees or gentle curves. So I'm really aware of this as I paint each brush stroke. These ones were slightly horizontal, meaning that as they approaches the horizon, I might want more stability. So I have these vertical and horizontal lines. But as you get up here, there's a bit more movement. And the one thing I really should be doing is I should be doing more Fibonacci spirals, because in nature, and even on these type of trees, there's Fibonacci spirals are kind of like fractal curves. So a curve, and then when you zoom in closer, there's a curve off of it that's exact same curve, and it infinitely goes down. And that's something you observe in a lot of foliage and trees. And I think that's why these things look so rigid and unnatural, is because I don't have any Fibonacci curves. You know, there really should be like little curves, little branches coming off, little things. That would make my painting look way more realistic. And I think also, you know, more palatable for people. You know, they're more comfortable with something that looks realistic. A lot of people are. Because this is more Josh's imagination kind of painting than it is anything else. This is more what I prefer to do. But I'm fully aware of what I would need to do to make it look more like a real tree, to create more realism. I'm just not doing it, at least now. And the thing about the Fibonacci pattern, it's a beautiful thing. The curves are gorgeous. You know, it's like these. So it's not like it's a bad thing to do it. And a lot of artists do it. There's a fellow named Tim Packer, who's a really good landscape painter in Toronto, and you know, he's fully embraced the Fibonacci, let's just call it. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, it really makes his paintings look much more realistic, and they're nicer to look at, right? They're more like, hey, this is kind of what I would expect to see, you know? Whereas this is almost just like abstracted nonsense to some degree. Like, and it's just different ways of looking at things, different ways of making art, you know? So I'm gonna do some stuff. I'm gonna bust it up a bit. I'm gonna add some my own lines just coming in, creating some flow, and they're very subtle. You can't really see because I'm dragging one color over multiple colors. All right, now I gotta go back to this color. I need to make a color. I'm out of that orange. So let's take this crazy red. What is this? Cadmium deep red is a very intense red. It's beautiful. Hold on. So I'm going to take cadmium deep red, which is very strong, and I'm just going to take a tiny little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Tiny little bit, and mix it with this orange, and it's going to completely overpower the orange, just because it's so intense. I'll take a little bit of white, which is going to make it a bit more pastel. And you know what? I need it a bit warmer, so I'm going to go steal some of this yellow. And it's still, it's almost like a dead orange, to be honest. But you never know. It still looks kind of nice. It's almost like this brownish concoction. And that's why I really like oil paints over acrylics. You have a lot more control, in my experience, with oil paint over acrylics. And also, I have the freedom to come back the next day and continue with that exact same palette color because it doesn't dry as quick, you know. Acrylics dry very fast, which is one of their strengths depending on what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? So let's go here. Okay, what I should do now. So what's interesting about this one, let me step back. Definitely, you can definitely feel, you can definitely feel, let me get my stupid head out of the way. Okay. You can definitely feel like a canopy over here, and this one's too intense. So let's just go and screw with it a bit. Let's just screw with this thing a bit. Just make it less noticeable, especially at the top, because I want the clouds to be, I want the sun to be the thing that's poking through the top. So I'm literally painting over all the hours of work, but it is for the greater good. So yellows, let's bring some up. Well, that's kind of nice, little bright yellows. Let's try that. Really bright. It's not as fun as just go. Just make your hand do stuff. Okay. What is next, my friends? Maybe a bit of red poking through. There's already some red there, so let's just give it some real red. Let's just go in here and just, wow. Put some red in. I don't know why. Let's just do it. Let's bring some red right up here. Just because it's nice color and I like it. Is that fish tank noise in the background or very thirsty dog? My dog is asleep right here, so maybe it's just the mic is picking up. Oh, I know this. That's me tapping on the goddamn. The canvas is right close to this mic. So let me move the mic away. I've noticed that before. When I press down these are pretty good canvases. They're very tight. So that sound is just me being a little aggressive on the canvas. I hope that answered your question, Cindy. So this thing might be approaching completion. It might be getting there. I really want a little bit more of this orange. Yeah, that gurgling noise, I'm pretty sure is just the canvas vibrating. I picked that up. See, of course, I don't know that because I don't know it till actually after everything's all said and done. But thank you for letting me know. I'll try not to punch the canvas too much. Last thing I'm going to look at, and I may not change it, is the ground. Because I kind of like this strange, mysterious stuff that I typically do on the ground. I just sort of kind of try to make it look almost like water. Or a swamp or something. But, okay. I do. I think I might do. It added a good background noise. No worries painting under the seal. Don't know what the hell you're talking about. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I just don't know what painting under the seal means. Okay. I think I've sufficiently hidden the top of the trees. Now I'll just do some crazy shit like this. Just bring it stuff across. Okay. All right, now the bottom part. What are we gonna do here? I think I had some really nice blues and purples from yesterday. So I just want to see if I can bring some of them back. Well, that's kind of a nice blue. Probably not appropriate, but fuck it. It was a purple. There was a really cool purple I had yesterday. Oh yeah, I remember. It's this dark, dark purple that you must have white with it because it's so intensely dark. But once you get it out, so there's that purple, and I'll splash some white down here. Oh, that was C. I got it under like water sounds. I hear you. Okay, so I'm gonna take tiniest bit of purple. I'm gonna move it here and watch what happens. Isn't that like a beautiful purple? That's just beautiful. I mean, in fact, maybe we should just put some up here. Whoa. Just why not? Having a bit of the sky, having a bit of purple come through there. Beautiful. Okay, enough of that. Let's go back to the purple. A bit more intense purple. See it down there? Barely even touched it. I think it might be nice to bring out some purples down here. Don't ask me why. This is just something that I have to do it. I have to do it. There might have been some great stuff there before, but I need this purple and I need that green. God, that's such a beautiful color, eh? And I sometimes do a vignette effect, which makes the corners of the painting dark. Sometimes I do that. I'm gonna wet my fingers a bit here. Come across. The idea is that these are supposed to be like the shadows. That these birch trees somehow should be casting shadows. So I'm going to come in with some, I don't know if I could, light greens, or maybe even just yellows. Let me wash my hands. Oh. Okay. Come in with, I've got a little bit of yellow. Let's see what this does. Yeah, I want it to be whiter. Sort of reminiscent of those meadow paintings I was doing before. I'll take some white and some yellow, and I'll do this. I think I might be done. I'm thinking. Just try to, if I scrap some colors into there, that might be kind of cool. Watch this. I'm just gonna take my nails and I'm just gonna bring them across here, and they're gonna make some, take some of those oranges that are up in the sky, and just they become part of the bottom. Isn't that nice? What if I just take a nail and just start scratching across here? Look at that. That's kind of cool. And then what if I just went like this? And went, okay, I think it needs some real white, like bam. Oh, I think I know what I need to do. I need to still. Actually, those trees look pretty good. They look pretty birch-like. Maybe I'll just leave them alone as I continue to touch them. Just having a bit of whiteness. Okay. Let's just take that white. Need a brush for this. I think I'm going to wrap it up real soon. I'm just going to take some white and just give my sky a bit more. White to it. Does that look good? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done. Just get this paint off my hands. Oops. Oops. There, I fixed it. 2 seconds, fixed it. All right. I like it. I like it. Okay, this is let's just call it done. I'll zoom in close, you can see some stuff. So there's the light coming in through the trees at the top. Lots of variations of stuff happening here. And then I really like this bottom part. That's the part that I said was a mistake, but I kind of like it. Look how it's wrong. There's a purple and a pink and a purple, and then there's this dark green, a yellowish, and a dark blue, and it's supposed to be light coming through, but they don't match. And I like that. I think that looks cool. All right, so there you go. Thanks for watching the transformation of Birches with Orange, whatever the hell the number is, 3, I think. See ya.